Okay, so let's start with a new topic which is called as discrete Fourier series. Till now we had looked at Fourier series for impulse trains, which was continuous time. So now we will look at discrete time signals. So one way of looking at it is discrete Fourier series for discrete time signals. Okay, and right now we will have a symbol used as AK, but later on we'll change it. So as per signals and systems class, you all had used AK, I believe. So we'll use AK right now, and then we'll use a different notation for this course. Okay, that I'll come to it. Now this what is discrete Fourier series is it's just any periodic signal, okay, any periodic signal x of n. So I'm using a tilde signal to signify it is a periodic signal. So any periodic signal x tilde of n can be expressed as, okay, as a summation of k over one period. So the summation of product of AK, which is your discrete Fourier series coefficients, with your complex exponentials. So why is this, what is this? This is basically just a representation of a signal in a different format, okay, where this guy is a discrete time signal or sequence, okay, signal. This tilde tells that it is periodic, okay, to signify it is a periodic. N is the period in the time domain, which is n samples, okay. So think about this, like you had a signal x of t, right? X of t, it was periodic in, let's say, having a period, some period, for it right now it doesn't matter. Let's just say it was periodic in some value which was like in some time which was like, let's say, TP, okay. So now what you do here is you break this into sampling instance. So what exactly happens is x, and you let's say you sample this particular signal at a rate t, okay. So x of 0 is same as x of t, okay. The time in the value of x of t at t is denoted to x of 0. X of 1 becomes equal to x of 2t. This is a continuous time, this is discrete time, okay. So on. So you break it up into n samples. So this TP is broken up into n TP, okay. So this is the number of samples that you will get. Sorry, TP is divided into NT, okay. So this is the number of samples you will get per period. So this will be periodic in N, that is NT, okay. So TP will be equal to NT, okay. So that will be your period of that signal. So N samples, and x of n will repeat after n samples. So x of n will be equal to x tilde of n plus n. So this is your period. Now over one period, this is your DFS coefficients, discrete Fourier series coefficients, okay, and this is a complex exponential, complex exponential. Now one interesting thing here is, if you look at the complex exponential, those complex exponential is again periodic. E raised to j 2 pi k n over n is same as e raised to j 2 pi k plus n into n over n, okay. So this means that this will be e raised to j 2 pi k n over n into e raised to j 2 pi n. This is basically an integer multiple of 2 pi which goes to 1, and what it turns out is this guy becomes equal to this guy, okay. So in short, this complex exponentials are periodic. Complex exponentials, discrete time complex exponentials are periodic. Okay, periodic in k and n. That's fine. Okay, this is discrete time complex exponential signals. Okay. Now you have why is this representation important? It is just another way of representing the same signal. So like how you had, right? Let just think about a signal which is your impulse train, which is, let's say, a impulse train having a period of n. Think about this signal. So this is 1, this is 1, and then you have this train which is continuing every n samples. Okay, so minus n. So one way you had looked at to represent this signal, let's say this is x of n, x tilde of n, let's say this is x tilde of n, then I can represent this mathematically as k equal to minus infinity to infinity delta of n minus k n. This is also one way of representing the same signal, x tilde of n, right? Now another way could be like you could represent this as x tilde of n as, think about this, if I want delta of n, I can write it as u of n minus u of n minus 1, right? Plus, if I want delta of n minus n, I can write this as u of n minus n, okay, minus u of n minus n plus 1. Okay, so this is another way, or I can just for simplicity sake I'll just write it this way so it doesn't become confusing. Okay, this will give you delta of n, this will give you delta of n, this will give you delta of n minus n plus u of n minus 2n minus u of n minus 2n minus 1. So this is also will give you delta of n minus 2n, and the negative side, if you want to go that side, then it will be u of n plus n minus u of n plus n minus 1. So what will happen in this case is, this guy will be n plus n and so on. So it's a summation of this. So this is another way of representing the same signal, right? Now so same way the discrete Fourier series which you saw, the DFS way, x tilde of n equal to 1 upon n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 over one period. I can take any period. So I can take from k equal to 1 to n also, k equal to 2 to n plus 2 also. So the easiest way is, right now I am taking a one period from 0 to n minus 1. So this is I can represent this as ak into e raised to j 2 pi k n over n. This is interesting way of representing a signal because you know, for a LTI system, your complex exponential, the complex exponential for a LTI system is, when you apply a complex exponential to a LTI system, you get the same complex exponential back, okay, multiplied by the frequency response at that particular frequency, So the calculations become much easier. You don't have to go through the convolution process to convolve two signals and get it done. I mean, it involves like some effort, right? Convolution. So here for this particular, when we represent a signal using this, the calculations at the output will be the same signal back multiplied by the individual frequency responses at these frequencies. What are the frequencies? 0, 2 pi by n, 4 pi by n, and so on. So 2 pi into n minus 1 by n. So at these frequencies, whatever your h of e raised to j omegas are, at omega equal to 0, omega equal to 2 pi by n, those values into the same signal is what you will get at the output. So calculations become simpler. Okay, and it is another way of looking at the same process. Okay, it's just one other way of representing the same signal. Clear? So now let's move on to find out what these AKs are, the discrete Fourier series coefficients are. You have this x tilde of n, which is represented using 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 ak into e raised to j 2 pi k n over n. So now let me just multiply complex exponential on both sides, which has got a independent variable as r, okay, 2 pi r n over n, and let me sum it up. So sum it up with respect to n equal to 0 to n minus 1. So I'll have to do this on both the sides, right? So n equal to 0 on both sides. This will be n equal to n 0 to n minus 1. I'll have to, this is 1 by n, the left hand side, summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 into ak into e raised to j 2 pi k n over n, and this whole thing I'll have to multiply this with e raised to minus j 2 pi r n over n. Okay, so now one thing I can do here is the right hand side. Let me work on the right hand side only. I can get this guy inside and this guy I can get outside the summation. So as soon as I get this, I can get this guy also out along with the this summation, because k here is independent of n, right? So I can say that I can rewrite this as summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1 ak, okay, into summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay, e raised to minus j 2 pi k minus r e raised to j k e raised to j r plus r k minus r upon n into n, right? So this is the same way of rewriting the same thing. Okay, this will get added up and this will be the value. So now this is, let's work on this part of the signal, which is basically the summation of your complex exponentials. So summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay, e raised to j 2 pi k minus r into n upon n. So if I use the formula, which is summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha raised to n, this formula states that this is alpha raised to 0 minus alpha raised to n minus 1 plus 1, which is n, upon 1 minus alpha. So alpha here is e raised to j 2 pi k minus r by n. So I can rewrite this guy as e raised to 0 minus e raised to j 2 pi k minus r into n over n upon 1 minus e raised to j 2 pi k minus r upon n, right? So this is your alpha. So this is what you will get. Now if I trace this further, I'll get e raised to j 2 pi k minus r upon 1 minus e raised to j 2 pi k minus r upon n. Okay, so this is what your output will be. So now if k is, there will be two cases now. If k is not equal to r, what will happen here is, if k is not equal to r, you will get something like in this form. This particular equation will turn out 1 minus e raised to, k is not equal to r, it's a multiple, e raised to j 2 pi some constant, some difference, right, some integer value. It could be negative, it could be positive, but it will be still a multiple of 2 pi. Okay, so let's say it's a 2 pi m, okay, which is your difference, upon 1 minus e raised to j 2 pi m over n, right, where n and m are not same. K is not equal to r and it is not a multiple. K minus r is also not multiple of, is not a multiple of n, okay, ln. Okay, so in that case it will be basically a 1 minus 1 upon 1 minus some value. So this will be a 0 value, right? 1 minus 1 will be a 0, the numerator will be a 0, denominator will be a non-zero value. So this will turn out to be a 0. When k equal to r, this value will be basically, it's like 1 minus e raised to j or e raised to 0 upon 1 minus e raised to 0. This is the situation. So this will be a 0 upon 0 situation here, right? Because both guys on numerator will be 1 minus 1 and denominator also will be 1 minus 1. So 0 upon 0. So I'll use a L'Hopital's rule. L'Hopital's rule. And derivate both sides, numerator, not both sides, numerator and denominator with respect to r. Okay, so here what will happen here is, or with respect to k, it's okay. So what will happen here in this case is, this guy here will be, when k is equal to r, it will be derivative of this guy, which is e raised to j 2 pi k minus r, okay, into j 2 pi, right, upon the denominator will be, with respect to k I'll do this as, so this is minus, so minus e raised to j 2 pi k minus r upon n, okay, into j 2 pi by n. This is what I'll get, right? With respect to k I am derivating numerator and the denominator. So what will happen here is, since k equal to r, here this will go to 1, this value will go to 1, and this value will also go to 1. So you will get j 2 pi upon j 2 pi by n, which will turn out to be equal to n. Okay, so when k equal to r, this value is n. Okay, so now if I replace this in this equation here, this is the equation which I have. Okay, here in this case my value will be existing only when k equal to r, otherwise this will go to 0, which we have proved already, right? When k equal to r, this value will go to n. Okay, so what I'll get in short is, when I plug it in, I'll get summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay, x tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi r over n equal to, so now if you see here, k value has to be equal to r, right? Only then this value exists. So I will have to make this as ar. For everything else, for any value k 0 to n minus 1, this output will be a 0 only for one value for which k is equal to r, this output will exist. Okay, so what will happen is, this will be 1 by n into ar into n. So you will get this as ar. Okay, so now this is your discrete Fourier series coefficient. So ar, I can rewrite it as summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi r n over n. So now let me just drop this r and rewrite it as using k, because that's more comfortable for us. We have studied it using AKs, right? So AK will be equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi k n over n. This is your discrete Fourier series coefficient. So k is varying from k, where k is 0, 1 till n minus 1. Why it is till n minus 1? Because we will get back to that, where this is k plus n value will be, if you substitute this, n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi k plus n over n into n. In short, this turns out to be n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x tilde of n. 2 pi into n divided by n into n will be 1, right? Because this will minus j 2 pi k n over n and e raised to minus j 2 pi n. This value goes to 1. Okay, so what in short we have is, if you see this is equal to AK. So what it means is that the discrete Fourier series is basically a periodic function. So it repeats. So discrete Fourier series coefficients here repeats every n values. Okay, if you have a x tilde of n which is periodic in n, then you can represent that x tilde of n using AKs which is again periodic in n. So since this is a periodic function, let me change the representation in which I will for this particular course, right? I'll not be using AK representation. What I'll be doing is I'll be using AK. Instead of AK, I'll be using xk, and since it's periodic, I'll be using x tilde of k. Okay, so x tilde of k is what we are going to use for representing your discrete Fourier series coefficients. So now your equation here, just make a note. This is your DFS coefficients now. Your AKs will not be no longer be used for discrete Fourier series. Okay, so it will be x tilde of k is what will be used. So now x tilde of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1. Okay, x tilde of n, okay, let me write this properly, x tilde of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi k n over n, where k is equal to 0, 1 till n minus 1, and it repeats. Okay, it repeats. It's not like AKs, it will keep on repeating for every n samples. And x tilde of n is given as 1 by n summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1. So now instead of AK I have to use x tilde of k, x tilde of k e raised to j 2 pi k n over n. So this is your analysis equation. This is called as analysis equation. This is equation. Okay, and this is called your synthesis equation. Synthesis equation. Okay, so just make note of this. So instead of AK we are using x tilde of k. You must have used AK in your signals and systems class. For discrete Fourier series coefficients, we are going to use x tilde of k. K is a discrete value like 0, 1, 2, 3, and a tilde signifies that it is periodic. Okay, the discrete Fourier series coefficients are periodic. So x tilde of k are your DFS, discrete Fourier series coefficients. If I want to write it, discrete Fourier series coefficients, and using this discrete Fourier series coefficients, you can represent any periodic signal. Okay, if you know your discrete Fourier series coefficients, you can calculate the discrete Fourier series coefficients using this formula, and then once you know your discrete Fourier series coefficients, you can break down your x of n into this particular expression. Clear? So that's the whole idea of like this class. We just wanted to introduce the equations here. So yeah, and then we'll move towards the problems.